We're just about ready to kick off today's qualifying here in Melbourne. It's the Australian Grand Prix. Looking at this field today, Anthony, do you think we're going to see anyone take a chance? Maybe run the hard tyres and save some of the grippier tyres for the race tomorrow?
Well, I'd be surprised in all honesty. It's only the front runners that really have the pace to get away with that. And even then, at the end of the day, it's a big risk. Track position is the most important thing, and it's rarely worth sacrificing for a slightly more optimal strategy in the race, so I doubt we're going to see anyone trying it. I have been wrong before though. We certainly do see some risky decisions every now and then, and it's a gamble that's sometimes worth taking. But if it were me in the car, I would want to be on the fastest tyre for my qualifying lap, without a doubt.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the F1 2019 career mode. This episode we're here in Australia for qualifying. I skipped practice because I don't want to really record practice. It's pretty boring to really watch it. Nothing much happens. I just do the track stuff, doing qualifying pace and all that, so I'm probably not going to record practice. However, qualifying, you're going to notice that, so I started this race off with using the wheel. However, after a few laps I did notice that my pedal just started to not actually work properly, so I'd be full throttle on the pedal. However, the game would only pick it up like half throttle, and so I was actually losing a lot of pace to the guys ahead of me. And then I switch over to the controller, so you're going to see that happen. And then once I switch over to the controller, I just pick up a lot of pace and start to come back. So we're going to leave that until the race. However, qualifying, I'm just going to go through this lap. This is the banker lap as always. Qualifying, just not setting a fast lap time just yet. Just need a lap time in there just in case if anything happens, if we crash out or anything. Still getting used to the car. The car feels a lot better than that Formula 2 car we did drive, as Vettel gets a 1:24.5 so far. That's the fastest lap. Braking is a lot nicer, I feel, compared to the Formula 2 car. The Formula 2 car just locked up a lot. However, with this Mclaren, I just felt like it was actually slowing down, and I didn't lock up a lot, so I don't actually think I lock up that much in this game. I missed the apex there. The graphics a lot better than, well, they do feel a lot and look a lot better. The suspension, the way the car handles feels different as we lock up into the second to last corner. You're going to notice, I think I go out wide here, maybe not. So one thing that does happen is I actually do go out wide and clip the front wing. So I'm not sure when that might be. I think it's end of this lap. I do clip the front wing, and for some reason I went to the pits expecting the engineers, the mechanics to actually fix it. They never fixed my front wing, so I resumed the rest of qualifying with a broken left wing. It was only yellow, but that would have really made my lap time a lot slower, made me not go as fast through the corners. So it's this corner, I believe, that it happens. You're going to see I just trying to get as much out of it, and there we go, clipped it. So you see there's the front left wing. So just after we cross the line, I actually do go to the pits, and even on this lap, my front left wing is still slightly broken. So even though we're going green so far, it's just not enough to help a lot. We're going to lock up into there. Yep, we just locked up a little bit. Missed the apex, but coming around the final corner now on the throttle, using the DRS. We're out of the energy recovery at the moment. We crossed the line in, I think that was a P. Where are we? I can't see my name, so we're not P. We're not in Q2, unfortunately. But we're going to come across in P18 and well off the pace. I'm surprised that Williams actually beat us.
Bad luck today. That must be incredibly disappointing. You scraped the walls a few times. Were you struggling for grip?
We only scraped the wall once, so I'm not sure what that's going on about, but yeah.
Your qualifying pace didn't put you at the front of the grid. Will this be a problem tomorrow?
Didn't expect to be at the front of the grid. We're not there just yet, so yeah, not much we could do about that.
Appreciate your time.
New drivers, new cars, it's a new Formula One season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that plays host to round 1 of a 21-race championship that takes us from here in Australia across the globe and the eventual season finale at the Yas Island circuit in Abu Dhabi. To take a look at our starting grid for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, and starting alongside him P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Valtteri Bottas, and Gasly, Butler, Grosjean, Ricciardo, and Nico Hülkenberg, Weber, Perez, Kevin Magnussen, and Raikkonen. Norris, Giovinazzi, George Russell and Mitchell, Albon and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, I know it's your home Grand Prix, but treat it like any other race. Don't take unnecessary
Thank
risks.
you, Jeff. So here we are. As always, I put more fuel in because I do like to burn a lot of fuel. I don't think we're there just yet with the performance of the car to run with less fuel, but here we go, formation lap now. We're just going to wait for the lights and we're going to wait for everyone. So George Russell starts to our left, Giovinazzi, Norris, so Mclaren just not there at the moment, and I think that may be fixed in the patch. So this game, I recorded this when the game first came out, so this was before the patch, so I'm not sure if the patch is live as of recording, or as of this video going live, but hopefully the patch does actually fix up the performance, especially for the Williams. Those cars are way too fast at the moment, so hopefully, yeah, you wouldn't expect a Williams to be in P17 at the moment. You'd expect McLaren to be a bit higher than where we are right now. So here we go for the start of the Australian Grand Prix. We got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Lights out and away we go. George Russell gets off to a decent start. He actually, look at that slipstream he has on Norris, and Giovinazzi's actually coming across now. We have Albon behind us, and that's Kubica behind us. We're going down the inside. No one seems to have dive bombed a little bit. Giovinazzi did cross the curb as we did as well, and we're now side by side with Kubica, and we're down into P20. Look at that Williams, and almost up the back of Albon. We're going to look down the inside of Giovinazzi, but he's just going to hold it there. We're going to go around the outside now. Norris ahead of us, Russell with him, and I think Norris has the position on Russell. Yes, he does, and we're now got the position of Giovinazzi. Russell now looking down the inside, maybe not, almost touching the rear of that Williams without wing. I actually did check had to quickly check the front wing to see if I didn't have any damage, and almost again up the rear of Russell as we come into the corner with everyone very cautiously on the brakes on the first lap now. Coming around to the fast chicane section, and still everyone's taking it cautiously. I think the front runners, they're not too far ahead there. There's still a train around them. Coming up to the end of lap 1 now, we're going to have a look down the inside, almost clipping the rear left of George Russell as we dive bomb down the inside. Now that is P16. He's still there. He actually hits us, so hopefully he gets damage from that, but that's Giovinazzi on Russell, because Russell had a terrible exit, and Norris ahead of us. We have a yellow flag, and that is smoke coming out of the rear of a Renault. That is Hülkenberg out of the race. We're going to get that confirmation up on the screen right about now. We're going to get it. We're waiting for, and yep, Nico Hülkenberg is out of the session with a blown up engine. So that's not good news for Renault. I think it's only 3 power units in the 2019 season, so we're running the Renault engine in the McLaren, so hopefully we don't have that sort of reliability, especially on the end of lap 1. Giovinazzi had to go at us, and now on the end of lap 2 almost, we've still got Giovinazzi. He's looking down the inside, he's going to go down the inside, and he gets the position done. So as you see, the AI will go for the dive bombs down the inside and pretty much into any corner, so we're going to have to just wait it out, and as you've seen there, cut the curb. So we have Alex Albon behind us, and as you can see, look, if you look closely where the gear changes and the throttle is, the green line isn't actually maxed out yet. I was pushing it, but now we're on the controller, so everything is going to be a lot better. We're going down the inside of 2 cars. We get Giovinazzi. Oh no, we get Raikkonen, sorry. Albon is still ahead. We're in P16 coming up to the end of lap 6. We're going to go down the inside, maybe, probably not. We might wait it out, but Albon's still ahead and Kubica now behind us. So we're in P16. Lap 7 now, we're going down the inside, locking up the right front wheel and slightly made contact with Albon, going around the outside. And that is P15 done. So Giovinazzi ahead of us, and I believe our teammate is further up the road. So we go green sector 1, Giovinazzi still there, and Albon still behind us. Halfway through lap 7 now, on the end of lap 7, Giovinazzi, we're going to go down the inside. Yes, we are. There's Norris, our teammate. We got the job done on Giovinazzi, so that is P14. As you can see, that red indicator means he's very close, and he is still there. That Alfa Romeo is still there and has DRS, so look at this. And there's Grosjean. That was very close. We're going down the inside, 3 wide into the first corner. We're going to get a replay of that right about now, and that was incredible. Just 3 wide as Grosjean comes out of the pits into the first corner. So we get the job done on both of those cars, but now on lap 8, the very next lap, we come into the pits behind our teammate, behind our rival in Formula 2. So hopefully the Mclaren boys can give us a fast pit stop and possibly jump Butler, but we'll find out very soon as we come into the pits. And here we go for the pit stop. It's a 2.3 second pit stop, and that is a jump on Butler. So we get the job done, and that is going to be P13, possibly P14, and possibly P15 as well. Yeah, P15. Ricciardo right ahead of us, so we got some work to do, and some drivers still to come into the pits in the next lap. So Ricciardo is just ahead of us. We got DRS still, and Ricciardo. We're going to jump a few drivers. We're going to jump our teammate who's coming out of the pits right about now. Ricciardo has a go on Kubica and locks up into the corner. They're going side by side. Now we're going to get Kubica on the run with no DRS. So there he is. Honestly, that Williams is way too fast at the moment. We're going out wide. We went deep into the corner to leave the room for Kubica, and that is the job done. P12. Ricciardo up the road in P11 on lap 10. Kubica's still behind us, but now jumping on to halfway through lap 11, we're catching up to Ricciardo. So it looks like Ricciardo's pace is starting to drop off. I'm not sure if he's experienced some engine problems, but look at this, DRS on Ricciardo around the outside. Can we get the job done? Ricciardo's still there into the corner. He's still ahead as we come into the fast right hand corner. Still there, we're going to have to go. Yes, we're going deep, very deep into that corner and locking on the brakes. So that is P11 now on lap 11 with DRS. So Ricciardo's going to drop off behind us. He doesn't have DRS on this lap, but Charles Leclerc finishes and wins the race. So nothing much happened after we passed Ricciardo. So on the end of lap 15, we come home in P11 for the home race and for the first race of the 2019 season.
Good job, you did really well. Super driving.
Ferrari have really pulled it out of the bag today. It's a great win. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
So just going to quickly speak about what McLaren expects. I think they expected some pretty competitive racing. I definitely didn't provide that in this race, but it feels like we can get there. I feel like the difficulty for the AI is pretty good at the moment. It may need to change in the future, but yeah, that is the Australian Grand Prix. As you can see, it's a 1-2 for Ferrari. And there's Valtteri Bottas, in third place. So I think Hamilton finished 4th overall. So it's going to be an interesting season if Ferrari keep up this pace. They may get the Constructors and possibly the Drivers' Championship as well. But that has been the Australian Grand Prix, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you look forward to the next race, which is in Bahrain for that Grand Prix, which hopefully is out this week. and I might do future recordings, live commentary as well. So as you can see, we're finished P11, 53 seconds behind the race leader. Almost got a point from McLaren in the first race, but we're going to have a look at the highlights to finish off this video. But until then guys, I'll see you next time.